Again, I'm Connor Crafton-Tempel. I'm actually from Freehold in Jersey, and I am an Episcopalian. So and today kind of started actually back in about mid to late October when me and Vince and I went down to Old City to tour a church down there called Christ Church, and they're part of the Episcopal Church, and they're actually quite related to the church here. And I know one of their interim priests. I know one of the priests. Because she was my well, she worked at my church for about 2 years while we all were between the priests, and then on Veterans Day we went back down there to celebrate the 323rd birthday. Today I'm just going to give you a brief what we believe in, and then I'm going to jump right into art, and then some architecture, and I would like to Debbie Clack. She's a historian here in Torresdale, affiliated with All Saints, where I attend when I'm here. So first off, we ordain men and women, and gay men and gay women and all. On the far right, we have Father Jim, and then Father Dirk. That's Father Dirk is actually my priest back home. His spouse is Father Jim. He's our priest associate, and then in the middle is our bishop, Bishop Stokes, and then it's Deacon Catherine, our Catherine, Deacon, and then the woman in the next photo is St. Florence Lee Des Moines. She is actually the first woman in the entire Anglican communion to become a priest. And then right here is the most Reverend Dr. Catherine Jeffords Shorey. She was the 25th presiding bishop, and the first female primate in the church. And what that means is that she was the Archbishop of the U.S., certain countries in South America, certain countries in Southeast Asia, and certain cities in Europe. And she's also a trained pilot and oceanographer as well, so that's where she has her PhD in. Next we have our current presiding bishop, Mike Curry. You all might have seen him if you saw the royal wedding. He was quite enthusiastic about love, and the man closer to me was actually the very first gay man to be a bishop, and that's Gene Robinson, formerly of I think the diocese of either New Hampshire or Maine. And right there, he's preaching at the National Cathedral on October 26th, when Matthew Shepard's cremains were interred after 20 very long years. And then the woman, the photo there is Bishop Marion Buddy of the Diocese of Washington, and then the man with the purple cloak on, I believe that white thing is the dean. It's Dean Randolph Hollerith. He is the dean of the National Cathedral. And fun fact, that's actually one of our cathedrals. That's both the seat of the presiding bishop and the bishop of Washington. And then the man right here is the current Archbishop of Canterbury. So he is he's known as the first among equals. So he's both the head of the Church of England and actually of the entire communion. And it's a group of churches that that were at one part of the Church of England, or related to the church. So now we're going to go into artwork. And here we have Henry Tanner's The Annunciation. I know that Father tell us about that during Mass. I think it was fall 2017. So it's when Mary was told by the Archangel Gabriel that she was going to bear the Son of God, and the reason why you just see Mary here, it was because we all see angels differently, and his idea was that is that Mary was the only person to well, she's the only person that knows how it appeared to her. And this actually drew a lot of criticism here in the U.S. because it was during the Jim Crow era, and Henry Retainer was black, and that caused him to get death threats, and then he had to move to France in order to continue his work. And the original, I think, is in the art museum, right, Father?
That's correct. The original is in our art museum here in Philly.
And
I love it.
And so next is like the depiction of saints. My personal favorite is Saint George. So George was a pagan, in modern day Eastern Europe. This is back several thousand years, and he killed a dragon when the soldiers in town couldn't, and then he had converted, and now he's penetrated in the Anglican communion, the Eastern churches, and the Roman Church. And he's always depicted killing a beast. Sometimes he's on a horse, and the icon of him, in stained glass at All Saints, just him standing. But the two I have here, he is sometimes on a horse. And so next is coats of arms. So coats of arms and insignias are very important to a ton of people. You'll see that some people have their own, and like with the college, we have one. Well, with churches, same thing. So on the far side there, that's our church's coat of arms. So the red cross is the cross of Saint George, and then the red, the white one on the blue is the cross of Saint Andrew, and it's got 9 crosses in it. That the 9 crosses are representative of the first 9 dioceses of our church in the in the country, and there's the diocese of Pennsylvania, where we are right now, then the diocese of New Jersey, my home diocese, and that's actually the second oldest diocese in the church, followed by the diocese of Connecticut, and like the cross of St. George, is there to show that we came from England. We all broke off once the church was once we split from them. And then the cross of St. Andrew is to show that our Scottish heritage, because the Scottish Church, you actually don't need to pledge. You don't need to promise to defend the monarch. In England, you do. And then on the right, we have the key seal. So it's got what I think is either the papal tiara, or a mitre, the hat that bishops wear, and then it's got the key seal, of St. Peter, and like that's important because it shows who the head of the church is, and it also shows that the first pope was St. Peter, and then here we have flags. We have Union Jack. I told you about the cross of Saint George and Andrew, but here is the cross of Saint Patrick for Northern Ireland, and it's a bit messed up on the main flag there because due to some weird rule in England, it can't be that way. So that's why it's down, up, it's not like they got drunk or something. Like, it was actually designed that way. So now we're gonna move on to church architecture, and I pulled photos from my own parish and the cathedral here in Philly. So that is the cathedral or a bishop's chair or actually throne for the diocese of Pennsylvania. And when Vince, Mandy, and I went, we got a very small tour of the stained glass and the main parts of the church. And the dean, she told us that the cathedral here is actually based off of a French one. She didn't say where, but the bishop would actually sit in the actual chair part with the armrest, and then the clergy would sit on both sides. It's actually more impressive in the person. And then there's a roof beam. In some really old churches, the priests would actually climb up to the top and read the gospel. But now, you tend to see it just for decoration. That's actually at St. Peter's in Freehold, my home parish. And so you have Jesus on the cross with St. John and Mary, and the text says, in English it says, it's John 12:32. It's actually part of the gospel from Christ the King Sunday. Just saying about how when Jesus is comes up, all men, all people will come up with them, and then. Next is the baptismal font. There's actually a two-part thing at the cathedral. One part, I guess, is for babies, and the pool part is actually for your children and older, because the bishop likes to actually dunk people, but most priests just do the shell. The exact architecture really wasn't explained to us, but I do know that fonts are really important parts of churches. The one at Christ Church is actually from a cathedral in England, and William Penn was baptized in it, and then it was brought here, and it's probably about not including the top, probably about as tall as the podium. And then next, the next few slides is stained glass. Both are from my home parish. I can't quite get out what the text reads on the one closer to me, but the one right, it's actually from our main area, just behind the altar, and it's Christ coming back from the dead, and we've got a phoenix to help kind of emphasize that point. It's in the bottom of the middle, and it's got a few references to scripture. There's one part where it's saying, it's a time that Peter drowning, and then Jesus bringing him back up, or Jesus stopping the storm. And then up top you have the Alpha and the Omega, to say that God is God, and Jesus is the beginning of everything, and the end, because Alpha and Omega is the Greek for our A and Z. And the Phoenix on the bottom right is actually telling us about Peter's 3 denials. And then the one there, I think it's just showing the founder of our church, parish, actually coming here, coming to Jersey to actually preach, but I'm not quite sure, though. And then here we have 2 rows of windows. The one on the right is from my home parish. It's the Lamb of God. And then the one on the right, it's from the Cathedral of of St. John the Divine up in New York, and it's actually the biggest cathedral in the Anglican community. It's massive. Like the cathedral is massive. Like they can have really tall animals, coming from the feast day of St. Francis, and have more than enough room, both height and width. I've not been, but I've heard it's huge. And then here's just more stained glass from my home parish, or just ones I've seen online. That's actually my church is a chapel back home. One side is stained glass, and then the other has a screen because it's kind of attached to the main body. And here's some more. And then so we've got a few things here. So right about here, we'll have things like the chalice, the wine, the water. Then right there is it's where we keep all the hosts, and then the light here. It's just like what we have here of the candle, because there's always supposed to be light like right there. And we have some crosses in the tile work. And I've actually got a copy of it here, and it was actually found in a cathedral in England. I accidentally bought this on Amazon. It's actually for a bishop. Thought it would be tiny, but now it's kind of big on me, so I don't wear it much. And are there any questions today?
I have a comment. Yeah. I'm just so impressed, Connor. I know how the fire of your faith burns within you, and your goodness radiates into this whole community, from Spectrum all the way across the entire community. It's beautiful. But yeah, I just want you ordained when I see all this. I hunger for your ordination. I truly do. I don't know if they'll let me come celebrate, but I do.
Yeah. Well,
I hunger to see you ordained. I really do.
Thank you.
Anyway, good job.